Other than that, I'm serving as the Club Growth Director for District 114. This is Toastmasters in East Africa, and it covers 7 countries. We have Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Djibouti, and Burundi. And we'll continue to charter clubs within the East Africa region as we get opportunity to do the same. Who wants to go next? We could have your name and the club you're in.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yep, Justin.
My name is Justin Omai. I belong to Nairobi Toastmasters Club.
Welcome, Justin.
Yes, I can go next. This is Sabina. My name is Sabina Seja. I'm new. I've just joined Bongo Toastmasters Club. I'm in Tanzania. I'm in Dar es Salaam, but usually I live in Dodoma, Tanzania.
A warm welcome to District 114.
Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Nora Mumba, and I belong to the Exceed Toastmasters Club, Uganda. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you, Nora, and welcome to District 114.
I can go next.
Yes, Brenda.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Brenda. I'm part of the Smart Speak Toastmasters Club in Nairobi, Kenya, and it's glad to be here. Thank you.
A warm welcome to you, Brenda.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Galmesa Bakana. I am Imperial, as a member of Imperial Club from Ethiopia. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much.
Welcome to District 114.
I can go next. My name is
Yeah.
Miriam Kuria, Smart Speak Toastmasters Club in Nairobi, and I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
A warm welcome to you to District 114.
Hello, can I go next?
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Moivia, and I'm a member of Kampala Sunrise Toastmasters in Kampala, Uganda. Very excited to be here and to learn about the club and what I can pick up from it. Thank you.
And welcome to you, Mark. Shining, you can go next.
Hi, good evening. This is Shining. I'm glad to join this District 114. So I'm from Dar es Salaam Toastmaster Group. Thank you.
A warm welcome to you. We will start in 1 minute on the official program. So this is your moment. It's now or never.
Shall I go next?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Ididia. I am from Imperial Toastmasters Club in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. I'm very excited to see what the orientation about. I'm excited to join this community. Thank you for having me, everyone.
A warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Salamari from Jupiter Toastmasters at Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I too am excited to be part of this orientation. Thank you.
A warm welcome to you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Onyango Lodge from Nairobi, Kenya, belonging to Anchored Toastmasters Club. Thank you.
A warm welcome to you.
Good evening,
Francis.
everyone.
Yes.
My name is Francis Ivia Kamau from Kenya, a new member of the current Toastmasters Club.
A warm welcome to you. And for everybody who may have joined after we wished one another Happy New Year to you.
Hello everyone, this is Bishal. I'm joining from Arusha, Tanzania. So I'm the new member to the Mount Meru Toastmaster Club, but I'm originally from Nepal.
Warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Excellent. So you joined Toastmasters. Now what? What next? What can you look forward to as a member of Toastmasters International and specifically District 114 and the respective club that you belong to? In order to help you have a good start in your Toastmasters journey, we've put this session together to enable you to get a better understanding of the organization that you have joined. This is our program for today. We will talk about the theme and goals, the club meeting roles. We'll learn how to select a path and navigate pathways. We'll look at the distinguished club program goals, the awards and recognition system that is available, the leadership opportunities that we have as Toastmasters, which is a volunteer organization. We'll look at renewals. We shall touch on speech contests and the member support and the club expectations. I'm hoping that we will have a fun session together. To kickstart us, we do have a rallying call as District 114, which is Toastmasters in East Africa. And our rallying call is all in 100. What does this theme mean to you and I as members? You're all in 100 as a club member. The first area that we'll look at, and I'll ask somebody to unmute and read. Who wants to unmute and read for us?
Yeah, I can do that. As a
you.
member, I will take on a meeting role at least once per month to gain experience and contribute to the club.
What does that mean? That there is a part for each one of us to play. All our clubs meet at least twice a month. I know there are some that meet 4 times in a month, but the expectation is that we'll take on a meeting role at least once so that we get to learn more about what that role has to offer us and to contribute to the club quality of the club that we belong to. I need another volunteer to read for us the second area.
I
As a
can read it.
member,
As a
proceed.
member, I will aim. Yeah, okay. As a member, I will aim to complete at least one speech or project from my educational path every 2 months.
I like this goal because it means that I have to take it upon myself to go into the Pathways Education program and select a path, pick at least the first project, which is the icebreaker project, and it's common for everybody. And as a new member, seek to, as a minimum, complete one project from my education path every 2 months. And we'll get to know a little bit more about the Pathways Education program, and I will guide us on how to navigate and select a path so that you can begin your Toastmasters journey. I need a third volunteer. There's somebody who unmute the other time. There was 2 of you. The one who hasn't read, kindly read for me the third one.
Okay.
There it is.
As a member, I will invite and convert at least one guest into a member in the next 12 months.
Wow. It means that when we come for the Toastmaster meetings, we will not come alone. We will tag along at least one guest and endeavor to share the benefits of Toastmasters with them and encourage them to join and become a Toastmaster. And we'll try and achieve this in the next 12 months. Our year began 1st of July, and therefore we've got 6 months left in order to fulfill this particular mission, as this particular Toastmaster year will end on 30th of June, 2025. And we'll start a new Toastmaster year on the 1st of July, 2025. And the 4th volunteer, where are you? Kindly unmute and read for us the 4th and final area of our 100% as a club member belonging to District 114.
Let me read it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. As a member, I will set and work towards one personal development goal each term, such as improving a specific skill or completing a level in my education path.
Thank you very much, Sabina. Have you seen your responsibility is to ensure that now you are a Toastmaster? Can you grow as a member so that you don't stagnate as an individual in the marketplace or in the community where you serve? So the first one was we will take up at least one club meeting role every month. The other one was to complete at least one Pathways project every 2 months. The third one, to invite and convert at least one guest. And the final one, to ensure that we have set and will work towards one personal development goal each term. And the term runs from 1st July all the way to 30th of June. Are you seeing it's not a very tall order because we are only doing one thing? And we have 4 particular areas. And by so committing, then we will grow as members and we'll help our fellow club members to grow as well. Once you agree on your goals, share them with, as a minimum, your Vice President of Education or the members that you've joined with or those that you become friends with now that you've joined your Toastmaster Club family, and hold one another accountable. And I found that this is one of the best ways to grow as a member, when you have somebody nudging you and reminding you you committed to grow. And because we are already in Toastmasters, why not take the opportunity and become a better version of yourself? Is there any specific thing that you want help with as you endeavor to meet your goals? Some of us are very goal-oriented and we are able to push ourselves. Others want somebody to give them a nudge so that they can participate. Whatever your profile, make sure you write down your goals and share them with your Vice President of Education and even your club mentor. And that way you're able to hold one another accountable and track progress to ensure that none of us stagnates in our growth journey. We do have club meeting roles, and these are the roles that ensure that each club meeting runs smoothly. And you'll discover with time that each club meeting role helps us to hone a particular skill. For example, when you're the Toastmaster of the day, you are by de facto the MC of the meeting. And you need to find out what kind of skills are available for me to learn as I conduct each of the roles that are available. There are some roles you find because of their nature, you may need to observe how those roles are performed over time. But there are others you can begin on immediately, like the timer, the air counter, being the grammarian. And they're all fun roles to work on and get somebody to mentor you as you begin your journey. And we do have scripts for each and every role in Toastmasters. Starting with a very fast role, the Toastmaster. And you'll find we have a lot of jargon in Toastmasters. The Toastmaster is called the TMOD. TM Toastmaster, O of and D for D, TMOD. But we need to be very careful because we'll have guests, and when we use too much jargon, they get lost. I thought we were working with a Toastmaster. When did they become a TMOD? Is it still the same person? So we have people wondering, and because they're supposed to keep quiet during the meeting, they don't know who to ask. So whenever you find yourself using a short version of a particular or an acronym, make sure you explain what that means. Like Toastmaster of the Day, commonly referred to as TMOD. And this person is in charge of the smooth running of the meeting. They are the MC. And for this particular role, because you'll be in charge of each and every segment of the meeting, we recommend that somebody waits and observes a few meetings before they can take up this role. But there is a script that you can follow so that you're able to move from one segment to the next in an orderly manner. We also have resources. There's a particular manual called A Toastmaster Wears Many Hats. And in the era we're in, just type the name, Google it. Then when you serve as a Toastmaster, you are practicing working with a team, as there's a team of role takers you will work with. You're practicing your organization and planning skills, your time management skills, as the session must start and end by a particular time. You're also motivating the different members in your team and to see how well you are as a team player. It's an exciting role. And once you've observed somebody take it on, maybe 2 or 3 times, you are more than welcome to take up the role working with your Vice President of Education. That's the Toastmaster of the Day role. The next role that we will talk about is the grammarian. This particular role enables us to work on our active listening. And active listening is where you listen at a higher level because you are writing and you're having to analyze. Was that particular phrase worded appropriately, or could it have been worded differently? Are there any quotations or phrases that you liked and you want to highlight during the meeting? And therefore, you need to pay attention as the grammarian. You also have the distinct privilege of being able to introduce the word of the day. In Toastmasters, working together with the Toastmaster of the day who will have a meeting theme, you'll come up with a word that can be used during that particular club meeting that aligns to the theme of the day. And in that way, you make the meeting fun as everybody is trying to craft sentences and incorporate your word of the day. And again, we do have resources like the Toastmaster Wears Many Hats, and we do have the grammarian script and log. You'll be practicing your planning and evaluation and interpersonal communication skills. And because you also have an opportunity to stand and speak in front of the audience, you're practicing your public speaking skills. And one more thing on the grammarian. When you are the grammarian and you have the word of the day, make sure you type it out and paste it or stick it to the wall in your meeting room. If your club meets virtually, then you can have it as your background and keep typing it on the chat to remind people to use the word of the day. When I'm grammarian, I like to have an extra paper so I can raise it when somebody stands to speak. I lift up the word of the day to encourage the usage of the same. There are fun ways that you can adopt to take on your role. The air counter. This is where we track the pause fillers and the crutch words. And a crutch word is any word you add to your sentence that is not required. In the same way we use the walking stick as an aid. And most of the common crutch words are so, So I went out. You don't need the so, it's a crutch word. I went out. And you'll find the sentence stands perfectly on its own without the pause fillers and the crutch words. And the nice test to do is when you hear a sentence and there's a word there that feels and sounds like a filler word, try dropping that word. Does the sentence still make sense? If the answer is yes, you've got a pause filler or a crutch word, and you're encouraged as the air counter to write it down. And this particular role is a nice role to start with, but make sure you are listening. You don't realize it when you first join a Toastmasters Club meeting, how many pause fillers and crutch words people use when they speak. But as you continue to attend more meetings and become more active within the club, you're able to pick out the pause fillers and the crutch words. Again, the resources that we have there are a Toastmaster wears many hats and the counter script and log. For this particular skill, it's an excellent one to train yourself on active listening, evaluating as different people speak. And then you have the opportunity to stand in front of the audience and give them your feedback. What are some of the ways you can use to avoid using the pause fillers and crutch words? One is to ensure that you're attentive and to pause. You realize that many of the times when you have the pause fillers and the crutch words, it's because you're trying to get your mind to catch up with your mouth. Your mouth is ready to move, but the mind is still processing. But once you synchronize and harmonize the thinking and the speaking, you'll find that you'll be able to drop the pause fillers and the crutch words. And of course, working with impromptu speaking opportunities, and we'll be talking about table topics in a little while. The timer role. This particular role enables us to keep track of each and every segment of the club meeting. And once you're able to track the time usage in a club meeting, you become very conscious of how time is being used, even when you go back to the marketplace or the community where you work or serve. And therefore, this particular role of being a timer or a timekeeper makes you excellent in your time management skills. It will ensure that you concentrate from start to finish as you need to start the stopwatch. And you need to keep reminding yourself you're a timer because some of the speeches get so interesting. You forget that you're the timer and you did not raise the flags when you need to. So make sure that you're very attentive when you are the timer. You'll make sure that the meeting starts and ends on time, and you'll track each and every segment of the meeting and you report on it. Be very particular for the prepared speech segment, as the speech evaluators need to know how much time the speaker they're evaluating took. So be ready with that time to avoid extending or going beyond the evaluation segment time for each of the speakers. So in this particular one, you're also able to become more organized as an individual. It's an excellent role to start with. So don't shy away, even if you've just joined Toastmasters in the last couple of days, there are roles that will fit you perfectly. Then we have the role of the table topics master or the topics master. Table topics is abbreviated as TT for table topics. In case you see TT, that should be table topics in a Toastmaster setting. What are table topics? They are impromptu questions or scenarios that the topics master puts together in line with the day's meeting theme. And you'll be called upon by the Toastmaster of the day to lead the particular segment called the Table Topics Meeting segment. You may also be called upon when the role takers are being introduced to tell us more about your role and the expectations of the same. It's important to note that you must give clear instructions as the one in charge of the table topic segment. Remind people of the table topics response time. It is between 1 and 2 minutes, and the minimum qualifying time is 1 minute. And the timer will raise the green flag at 1 minute. Therefore, continue speaking until you see the first flag, which is green at the 1 minute mark, to ensure that you qualify on minimum time. We do have the resource on A Toastmaster Wears Many Hats. Master your meetings. You can also Google and see table topics questions that have been asked in the past. And we do have the topics master script and log. And when you are the topics master, the skills that you practice include leadership, as you will be leading that particular segment. You'll be working on your planning, as you need to come up with the questions and the scenarios. You need to ensure your segment fits a particular meeting time, and to motivate people in the audience in order to want to respond to your question. Make them nice and fun and easy so that everybody in the meeting can enjoy the same. Then we have the table topic speaker. This is the person who has the honor of being called upon to respond to a table topic. And it's an excellent opportunity for you to stand and practice speaking on your feet. You're hearing a question or a scenario for the very first time. How quickly can you encourage your mind to come up with a phrase that will enable you to begin answering that question, and then you create as you go along? But if you're truly not ready, you can request to pass, but make sure you don't pass too many times, as you're missing out the opportunity to grow as an impromptu speaker. And we all know the importance of impromptu speaking, especially for networking events, or if you need to share about the products and services that you have at the marketplace. Or somebody just asks you something, you need to be able to speak and respond with sense. This particular role enables you to keep practicing speaking on your feet and to speak within a certain time. And you're also encouraged not to give closed answers. Like, how was your holiday? Nice. Maybe you could include, I had an adventure, or we had this particular issue that came up, and this is how we dealt with. And that's how you prepare yourself, even for networking. An excellent role when you're called upon to respond as the table topics master. And at the end of the segment, the table topics master will call out the names of all the respondents, and there will be a vote for the same, for the best table topic respondent. Then we have the Toastmasters education program, where we prepare speeches, and you may be one of the speakers for the day. And if you're a first timer, you are encouraged to deliver your first speech, which is the icebreaker speech, within 60 days or 2 months of your membership. Thereafter, if you've not already done so, to set the goal so that you're able to progress in your journey at a steady pace, where you will be proud of your achievement. We do have access to the Toastmasters website, and the place to go to is Basecamp, and we'll be going there shortly. And each particular project enables you to meet certain competencies and hone certain skills. There is a project manual for each and every project on Basecamp. And most of them average between 18 and 23 or 25 pages. But don't get scared, there are many pictures in there and links to videos. And it's fun to navigate through the manual. And ensure you learn the competencies for each of the projects, as that is how we grow as speakers. And you're able to employ the communication tools, like using your body to enhance your message, or even vocal variation to bring out the color in the different scenarios or scenes that you will be covering in your speech. Each speech is time-bound. The icebreaker is 4 to 6 minutes. Most of the other speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, but we do have the longer speeches from level 4 and level 5. So be on the lookout as well for the time requirement for each of the projects in Basecamp. You will download the manual, read it through, prepare a draft of your speech, work with your club mentor, and practice your speech, polish it to a point where you're happy. And because this is adult learning, we are not memorizing. Try and internalize the flow of your speech from one thought to the next. And talking about managing time, on average, we speak 100 words per minute, which means if the speech, the icebreaker speech, which is 4 to 6 minutes, you can find the middle ground, 4 to 6. The middle ground is 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 5 times 100, we are talking about a word count of about 500 words as a guide to keep within the required time. But as you may have known by now, we do have a 30-second buffer to be below time or above the designated time, after which we are disqualified, and it's your discretion on whether to continue or to redo the speech. This is a nice place to be, and it's one of the goals we have for all in 100, to work on at least one project every 2 months to ensure that we're growing, and that's the minimum. You're welcome to work on more projects. Then we have the evaluator. For each project that we work on in Toastmasters, we have a speech evaluator, a designated evaluator, who, after you've delivered your speech, using the evaluation form that you shared with them before the meeting, they will let you know how well you've done on that speech towards meeting the specific project objectives in terms of the content, the delivery, and the language usage. meet with your evaluator or talk with them before and after the meeting and share any areas that you want them to look into. The evaluator will give you the verbal evaluation during the club meeting. And they'll also use the evaluation form you shared with them to give you a written evaluation of the same project. And depending on their preference and yours as well, you may have a call or exchange chats or emails on how the evaluation went and the things that you may have as a concern with regard to that evaluation. Once you've done a couple of projects, this is another wonderful role to take up, as it helps you with your listening skills, analytical skills, as you have to critically think about what you're hearing. You need to provide feedback and motivate the speaker. And the evaluation is on what we saw, what we had, and how it made us feel. You're not evaluating the person. You're evaluating their speech, the content, the delivery, and the language. And you'll use the Toastmasters evaluation form as a guide. We also have a manual called the Effective Evaluation. And again, you can Google it and learn more about evaluations. And what I like to do, even when I'm not an evaluator, I write my own short notes and see from the project objectives that were read, how well did the speaker or speakers meet the objectives? And you also have the unique opportunity to give them that feedback on the ballot papers that we have in the Toastmasters Club meeting, or even on chat if you are in an online meeting. So again, don't pass up these opportunities to learn as an individual, as the main purpose is for you to grow as a Toastmaster. Then we have the general evaluator role. This is the person who has the distinct privilege of tracking each and everything that happens in the meeting before and during the meeting. And they will let us know what we did well because they're observing. And they'll also highlight ways we can improve our club meetings as we enhance the club quality and the member experience. So again, as the general evaluator, you will practice critical thinking. You will organize in that you'll be working with the other role takers. There are clubs that ask the general evaluator to introduce the role takers to tell us about their roles, and then they ask them to give their reports. There are others where the Toastmaster of the day does all that and only calls the general evaluator to come and give their report or to lead in calling the report takers and thereafter deliver their own report. So there's no right or wrong method. Either works. And it's good to have variety. But depending on what your club does, work with the Toastmaster of the day and find out so that you're not called upon and you are not ready. So teamwork is very important. And it helps you when you are the general evaluator to look for ways to improve how a meeting was conducted. So you're also thinking, how could this be done better? And you give your suggestions as the general evaluator. We do have a general evaluator checklist, and more about this role is in the Toastmaster Wears Many Hats manual. Again, just Google the documents and they are available. When you're ready to take up a club meeting role, work with the Vice President of Education. And for some of us, we'll never be ready. So it's just nice for the Vice President of Education to come and nudge us and assign a role for us. And with all the tools that we have, you'll be able to be prepared for your role and also work with your club mentor. And that brings us to the end of the club meeting rules segment. And ensure you practice each and every role, as there are different skills to be learned as you take up each role. If you can do it too well one time, take it up again. And then you'll continue to perfect your skill on the scene. We'll now move on to the Toastmasters education program called Pathways. We have 6 unique paths. The material is available to us in digital form. We access it through Basecamp, and we'll be going to Basecamp in a little while. If you have your device with you and would like to follow along, you're welcome to do that. There are different ways to select a path. From the 6 that are currently available, there are different ways on how you can select the path, and we'll look at that in a little while. But basically is you can take an assessment test, or you can read through all of them and see which one you want to start with. Again, it's a matter of preference. Each path has got 5 levels. And on average, each level has got 3 projects, except the first level where we are learning the fundamentals or the basics. And we have 5 projects for the first level, where we're getting our foundation as a public speaker and communicator. There is a manual called the Navigator that will explain each of the parts in more detail if you want to do it outside of Basecamp. Or you can go through the same by navigating Pathways Basecamp. The parts that are currently available are dynamic leadership, engaging humor, for those who want to incorporate humor in our conversations. And we know that if you are engaging people and they're happy and they're laughing, they'll tend to concentrate on what you're saying. So engaging humor is a nice path for those who want to ensure that they will include humor in their speeches. We have motivational strategies. Persuasive influence. Do you want to be more persuasive? As you put your message across, you can learn more tips right there in the persuasive influence path. Presentation mastery. Many other times we are called upon to present impromptu or in prepared sessions. Do you want to discover the art of becoming a master presenter? Then we have visionary communication. We may have brilliant ideas, but if we're not able to put them across, then our ideas will get us nowhere. The 6 parts that are currently available on Basecamp. There are 5 core competences that we seek to hone or to learn as we go through Pathways. This is public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and something that none of us will ever get too much of, confidence. So as you go through the different parts, see how you're growing in each of these areas as an individual. For example, the dynamic leadership path, as mentioned, each path has got 5 levels, but the specific skills that you stand to hone as you go through dynamic leadership is public speaking, interpersonal communication, management. And the additional skills that you will build are strategic leadership and conflict resolution. But as we go through the different parts, there are at least 300 competencies that we stand to gain. So the onus is on us to maximize on the competences as we go through the different projects in our path. When you join as a Toastmaster and you've been onboarded by Toastmasters International, you will receive a welcome email. You may want to go into your junk mail to see if it's gone there. And then you're able to click on the credentials that are on that welcome message, as that's your passport into accessing the Toastmasters website, and you're able to set up your password and the profile. Just follow the steps. For those of you who've never logged on to Basecamp or your Toastmasters page, the minute you log in, it looks something like this. It welcomes you. And there is a special message down there for you. Where can we take you today, Margaret? And it tells you how long you've been a member. I've been a member since 1st of April, 2009, and that's my membership number. When you're able to go in there, you'll be guided on how to set up your profile. And each time you need to go to the website, note to log in, as there are certain things on the Toastmasters website that are only accessible by members. Then you're able to access your pathways by going to Basecamp, and we will go to Basecamp. Actually, why don't we go to Basecamp and have fun there? Let me know when you can see my screen. Can anybody see my screen?
I can.
Yes. Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. I've logged in to my profile as a Toastmaster, and there it is. Welcome, Margaret. And there is a small inverted triangle after your name. After welcome, your name, in my case, welcome, Margaret, there is an inverted small triangle. When you click on that, it has my home, my profile, and logout. Should you happen to get lost as you're navigating, just come here and run home. Click on my home and find yourself on a screen similar to what we have right now. From here, you're able to read more about Toastmasters, about the education programs, the membership, the resources, the magazines, and the events that we have. You're able from this particular screen to click on the first tile and go to Basecamp. Or you can go to the Learning Hub if you want to select your path. As you progress in your Toastmasters journey, you'll have awards and recognitions. And if you're very keen on the 4 goals on being all in 100%, you will not lack for awards and recognition in this particular segment of your profile. Then depending on whether you've taken on other responsibilities in the club, like a club officer or a district officer serving in the district, you can click on this particular option as it will be available to you. This is another place where you can find scripts and explanations on club officer roles. There is a tutorial for club officers. You can read ahead in case you're eyeing any of those positions for the next year. Then we have the club meeting tools, the hour counter, the timer, and other tools. You'll be able to find them in there. Then we do have articles that we can read, and they have insightful information. When you do have opportunity, take time and look at the same. Then we have the report card for each district under Toastmasters International. You remember that when we were in school, our report card was a private affair between you, your teacher, and very reluctantly with the parents. When it comes to Toastmasters, the report card is in the public domain. Everybody gets to see how well you did as a club. And one of the ways to ensure that your report card looks good is to see how you can complete your Pathways projects, invite guests, and if you're a club officer, go for the district-sponsored club officer trainings and renew your membership on time. In that way, you're helping your report card to look very nice in terms of distinction. There are distinctions to be attained, like being distinguished, and we'll talk about that in a minute, about being select distinguished or president's distinguished. If you're new to Toastmasters, depending on your internet speed, the next screen that you click on will load. In the Learning Hub, where I have come to right now, we are able to choose a path. So for anybody who has not yet selected a path, go to Learning Hub. Click on it, and it will give you this tile, choose a path. The first path is free. The amount is included in the membership fee that we first paid on joining. But for subsequent paths, the charge is $20 per path, and you're able to purchase that online using your debit card or your credit card. I have clicked on choose a path, and it will load for you this particular screen, and it's instructing us or guiding us to choose our preference. You will choose the language. I encourage English unless you're proficient in any of the others that are listed there. Then how would you like to select your learning path? I talked about the option of viewing all the paths, or you can take an assessment. I like to view all of them and get to read a little bit. And then you'll scroll down and there's a button for continue. And here are the paths that are available. The reason why I only have 5 paths being displayed is because I'm currently on the presentation mastery path, and it doesn't give me the option to purchase what I've already purchased previously. So don't be shocked when you only see 5 and you had already started working on a particular path. You can read what each of the paths is about by clicking on the hyperlink. It will load the particular path and will ask you, do you want to view all projects in this path? If you say okay, it will load them for you. You're able to see the levels that are available. And as I said previously, the first level is on mastering fundamentals. We have 4 projects listed. But the reason I said there are 5 is because the last project on evaluation and feedback requires you to deliver the speech the first time, you receive feedback, you go back and incorporate that feedback in that speech or another speech, and then you come and deliver it again. That's how come I counted 5 projects. And then you are given the opportunity to evaluate somebody else for a speech. And once you cover the projects in level 1, you have mastered the fundamentals when it comes to public speaking and communication. Then you move on to the second level. Depending on your path, the projects may vary, but they are 3 projects and you're learning your style. Like this particular project on understanding your leadership style. How do you lead as a leader? What about understanding your communication style? How do you communicate? Is it effective? Are you busy bossing everybody? Or are you too timid? How do you find a middle ground so that you're effective in your leadership style, effective in your communication style, and also learn about other styles that exist that you can practice and own them as you become a more dynamic leader. And this is a project that I have come to enjoy. It's an introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, and it's compulsory in all the paths. How did you behave as a mentee or a protege? What did you learn? And it's from being a mentee that you're able to practice and hone skills to later become a mentor as you're teaching the ropes to somebody else. Again, an excellent project where you get to know things about yourself that you didn't even know. Then you move on to level 3, where you're increasing in knowledge. There is 1 main project, depending on your path. The project subject will vary. And then we have some electives here, and you get to choose 2 electives. That's a total of 3 projects in level 3 as well. Then you go on and build skills. You have 1 main project and a series of electives from which you are only choosing 1. Which means in level 4, you have 2 projects to work on. But guess what? All the electives are available for you to take on or to tackle. But for you to qualify for the level, then you will follow the instructions, but nothing stops you from working on all the electives that are available because you're seeking to grow. And as my dad used to say, it's learning for life, not for examination. We are learning for life and not for examination. Then in level 5, you are demonstrating expertise. You will have 1 main project. You also have opportunity to reflect on all the projects in the 5 levels. And there's 1 elective that you need to tackle for level 5. Once you complete the requirements for that particular path, then you get certification for path completion. But note that each time you complete a level, you get a beautiful certificate posted on your Basecamp profile. And you'll be able to download it, share it with club members, share it with your employer and people who will celebrate with you in your community or family. And we have badges that we collect as we move along. So enjoy the journey. We do have the gifts and the certification as evidence that we have studied and we've tried as much as we can to hone the competences that are in each of the projects. But don't stress yourself too much. We don't learn everything the same day or the same year. You'll find that for certain skills, like being able to stretch your vocals as you present your materials, It takes time and practice. And at times you're not even aware that you need to work on a particular area, and your club members will point that out for you. And that's the beauty of belonging to a club, that you get feedback, peer-to-peer feedback from your club members. If this is the path that you like, you can select this particular path by coming back to the Pathways Learning Experience. And you can go on looking at each and every one of the other paths. But once you finish selecting your path, you are now ready to go to base camp. And for you to go to base camp, you can either access it by going back home, or you can come here to education programs. And it says, go to base camp, and click on access. And depending on your internet speeds, it will load the particular path. I do have an extra path right now that is in progress that's available to me as a district officer in my capacity as the Club Growth Director of District 114. And some of us, you may find, are working on more than one path, and especially those of us who already completed the first one and are working on a second one or even a third one or higher. And the reason will be that when you get to level 4 and 5, some of the projects require you to work on the project for a minimum of 6 months. And because you cannot sit and do nothing for 6 months, you'll find that we'll go and purchase a second or a third or whatever number path, and you begin to work on it while the other one is still open, as it has another project that you're working on, but it is time-bound. So don't wonder what to do if your project is long. You can go in and purchase a path at $20 and be working on it as you pass time on your other project and meet the requirements of the same. I have clicked on my path, Presentation Mastery. And depending on your internet speeds, it will load the same. I am currently working on level 2. What I need to do is to back up a little bit so that you get a feel of where you'll be when you land after you've logged in. There is level 1 right there. Each project you complete gets a tick that is in a green small circle. How do you know when you complete a project? By fulfilling the requirements of that particular project. You keep clicking next, next, next until you get to the very end. I was able to complete the third part of my 4th project on Monday. I delivered an evaluation, which is the 3rd requirement in this 4th project in level 1. And I've received my evaluation form from my evaluator today. I'll be able to complete this particular level, and it will also have that tick. And then I will reach out to one of the VPEs, because I belong to 2 clubs, and I will ask them to approve the project for me. And that's the act that gets the project completed, and you get certification for that particular level. But while I was waiting for an opportunity to be able to evaluate somebody's speech, I got opportunity to speak, and therefore I've already started on my level 2 as well. And this is one of the ways you can also manage your progress. So I'll encourage for those who are brand new to Toastmasters to complete each level sequentially so that you learn the skills, especially the foundational or the basics, as you build on that as you move on. This particular path is my fourth path, and therefore I have the luxury of going ahead as I have already gone through the mastering fundamentals, but each time I go through them is to see what more can I learn from each of these projects. Which skills am I yet to master? And how can I work with my team members at the club to hold me accountable and to make sure that I am growing and becoming a better version of myself each time? And that's the purpose of joining a club. If, for example, I was to click on the icebreaker switch, depending on your speeds, it will load the same. And it shows you the different screens that has the material with information that you need to prepare your icebreaker speech. Okay, I need to go to the beginning. There you are. So for each of these options, you can click on them, and depending on your internet speed, it will load the same. There are videos to be watched. Take time and watch the videos. There are questions to be answered. Read the material and engage with the answers in each of the segments. For example, if we are getting started, and it tells you what to expect in terms of the introduction, the no wonder learned, and finding the support. We have the arrows at the bottom to help us navigate. I want to go to the next screen now, and you're able to do that. And the next screen, as you can see, it will be page 3 or 14. So there are 14 screens that I need to navigate through, and some of them have got hyperlinks that we'll click on and read as the material is for us. So specifically for the icebreaker speech project, the introduction and the assignment, you read the requirements of that speech. You remember I talked about it being a 4 to 6 minute speech. Here it is. And for the icebreaker speech, we are learning the basics of a speech. You must have a title, an opening paragraph, the body, and the conclusion. Make sure all those segments are distinct in your icebreaker speech as you write it. And because it's 4 to 6 minutes, the guiding word count is 5 minutes times 100 words per minute, 500 words. If you have something around that number, just know you will be within time. Once you write your speech, read it out, time yourself. Are you talking too quickly? And people will not be able to keep up. Are you talking too slowly? And you might even put people to sleep. Work on your pacing and the pitch, use of your body language to enhance the message. And of course, the most powerful tool that we have, your vocals. Practice. And we've even been told in the project how to practice. And we get very interesting suggestions, even using the mirror, recording yourself. So you're given the purpose of the particular project and the overview of the same. Then it goes on to tell us on how we can assess and reflect. You can add other items under each of the fields right there. Then the competencies we will gain just by going through the icebreaker speech. There are 5 competencies. You're able to recognize the elements of a basic speech structure. You balance preparation and spontaneity when delivering your speech. Acknowledge the value of peer feedback. Develop the skills needed to accept feedback graciously. And identify feedback to apply to subsequent speeches. Remember, I said there is no way you'll be able to apply all the feedback in one project. It's a process. And all of us learn differently. We have different personalities. So at your own pace, because you are not copying somebody else. You remain you, a true version, unique. What can you apply, given your personality, your character, and the things you have to do, because we all have responsibilities in this life. And many other times we are called upon to stretch and come out of our comfort zone. And that's where we need to apply the feedback to be more effective as leaders, as communicators, a better version of yourself. Then you'll continue to get more information on the different speeches. When you click on the different arrows, they have content for us to read. So do take time to read the content. I personally enjoy going through it and listening to the videos. It then tells us, how will we remember the icebreaker? And there's a particular wonderful lady there who gives us tips on how to do that and even to organize the speech. As mentioned previously, you need a topic, not just any topic, it needs to be interesting. You need an opening, a body, and a conclusion. And to help us with that, we have the speech outline worksheet. Download the document, they're editable, you don't need to keep printing. And you can type away to your heart's delight. And open a folder for Toastmasters and give the documents names that make sense, because you call all of them evaluation form, you wouldn't know which is which, or you'll be overwriting. So you can have evaluation form icebreaker path 1, for example. So that you know this was my first path and this was the evaluation for the icebreaker. I'm now on icebreaker number 4, or in my case, it's 5 because I did the legacy program that was there before Basecamp. Then I can track the number of icebreaker evaluation forms that I have by giving them names that make sense. Write it out. Remember your outline, connect with the audience. They even are guiding us on how to prepare and present. All we need to do is to take time to read the material. It's there. I talked about techniques for rehearsing and your helpers. You can do it with friends and family, with yourself, use a mirror, practice sections, and of course, time yourself so that we are always within time. And each of these tabs has something for us to learn. So click on the different tabs. I'm not clicking on them in the interest of time. Then we need to communicate with our speech evaluator, the particular one that has been assigned to us. But there's nothing to stop other members in the audience from giving you feedback or you reaching out to them directly and asking them to give you feedback. But I keep saying the more the merrier. You get to hear different views and you grow from that particular experience. There's a video on what to expect when you deliver your speech. In terms of your preparation, how will you relax? How will you breathe? And how will you enjoy yourself during your speech presentation? And because standing in front of people is not something that we were born to do, we need to overcome anxiety. We all have the butterflies. The secret is, how well do you manage them when you stand to speak? And the more instances you get to speak before an audience, the better you're able to overcome the anxiety or to manage it as you get more speaking opportunities. And we're even told about how to receive the feedback. Is what you're hearing from your specific speech evaluator and the other members of your club, and even from yourself. Can I tell you a secret? There are 3 speeches for each of our projects. There is the speech you took time to write down, and you thought it was a pretty good speech. And there is a speech you deliver when you stand in front of your club members. That is speech number 2. And we have speech number 3. The speech you wish you had delivered for the one you wanted to deliver. And it's from the 3 speech versions that we learn as communicators and as speakers. So don't go beating yourself up. There are 3 speeches, and you can't get away from that one. But how do you go through and grow through working with each of the 3 speeches? The next segment is on understanding the evaluation. You can get it from multiple sources. And don't deny yourself as a source for your own feedback. How will you consume that feedback? Both the written, the verbal, and of course, the club practice. Most of the clubs have got that ballot sheet that has perforated segments, and you're able to tear off a segment and give feedback to the different speakers. If that's your club practice, I like to keep the little sheets of paper, and I visit them to see whether I am improving in the areas that were pointed out as part of my growth journey. And do not shy away from asking for clarification. But most of all, enjoy the process. And don't forget to review the competences to see which ones you were able to hone and which ones you noted, you practiced them, but there's still more room for you to become more effective in that area. Note to meet with your evaluator before the meeting. Listen keenly during the meeting. And after the meeting, you can agree on whether you will talk about your evaluation immediately after, or you will set a different time. And when you're the evaluator, don't hoard people's evaluation forms. Try and give it back to them within the week. There are times I'm able to send it immediately. There are other times I send it a day after, but I try and do it within the week, so that they're also able to benefit from the same when things are still fresh in their minds. And more importantly, to come and evaluate themselves after on this project in order to mark it complete and avail the evaluation forms to the Vice President of Education for them to mark the project complete for you. Then it will ask you on the strategies that you will adopt, type away and save. The same for each of these. This is a new version of Pathways. We had a different version, and that's where I had done this particular project as I did it before they uploaded this new version, and it was already ticked, and therefore I did not complete it on this particular version. I completed mine on the other one, lest anybody says that CGD Maggie had not filled and therefore I'm not filling. Note, I already filled it as I'd done the different segments in the previous version of Pathways. Then you come in here and you'll be able to mark your project complete by ticking all the elements and any other new tasks that you added for yourself. Once you do that, then you are on your way to completing that particular project. You reflect on your learning. What are your takeaways for the project? Then once you're done with that, you can come here and mark the project complete by adding the things that you have learned. And these are good items that you can revisit later to see how well you're doing in each of them. We have opportunity in this new version of Basecamp to share the details of our project directly with our club members. You put your speech title, you select the date when you deliver your particular speech, you'll select the club if you belong to more than one club. Both my clubs are sitting pretty in there. And I can select for this particular level. Note, you give levels to a club, not projects. It's a complete level. Then you can pick the club you want to give that goal to, depending on how we are doing on the dashboard. Then you'll select the evaluator. If it's a member of your club, their name will be listed in that drop down. After, in my case, I need to select a club first because I belong to more than one. Then you can select your evaluator from the drop-down members list and the evaluation form as well. You come and click on it. And if there's a particular area you need your speech evaluator to look out for, you can write that out here, save, and there's the option to email them directly. And this is a beautiful feature. We did not have it before. And then you can come in here and you can review and mark the project complete once you're done. And you'll know you're done. It will tell you, well done, or congratulations, you have completed every task. Congratulations, you have completed your icebreaker project and are ready to move on to the next project. And you get this particular icon with project completed. And once you have that, you are ready to move on to project number 2, which is writing a speech with a purpose. Again, depending on your internet speeds, it will load the same. And the next project is writing a speech with a purpose, and we'll go through the same process. You click on it and scroll through the different screens and fulfill the request or the requirement for each of the screens as you move along. And do not hesitate to reach out to a fellow club member, a VPE, or your mentor in case you need clarification on any of the screens. That's how we navigate through pathways. It's a beautiful, beautiful education program. And I'll encourage you to take time on it and learn as much as you can. It's amazing what I learned from the last icebreaker speech that I did. How can you deliver the project differently and still meet the project objectives? Once you're able to answer that question, just know that you are growing as an individual. Any parts that you complete will be listed at the bottom when you go to Basecamp. And the ones that you're currently on are the ones that are listed at the top, and the screen looks something like this. I hope you can see my screen. Remember, this is where we came when I first logged on to Basecamp. Then the bottom part of this screen are the parts that I have already completed. And I forgot to scroll for that particular screen for you to see that I've completed these other parts, including the Distinguished Toastmaster project. And that's how you get the abbreviation DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. You complete 2 unique parts. You take on the role of a club officer for 12 months and make sure you renew your membership in that year without having a break so that you don't interrupt the 12-month period, as it needs to be complete from 1st July to 30th of June. Then you hold the role of a district officer, and we'll be talking about the different offices, but there's area director, division director, the role that I have as club director, program quality director, district director, or the different cabinet members like district finance, PR manager, admin manager. You take on that district officer role for 12 months. You help a club to start as a club mentor or a club sponsor. You fulfill the requirements for that club support. And then you take on this project, the Distinguished Toastmaster Project. And these are the ones that I was saying take a bit of time. And while you're on it, you can be working on another project in another new path. And once you're done, the Vice President of Education will submit the requirements for you to be given the highest recognition in Toastmasters, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, and you will have DTM at the end of your name. So when you hear people being called DTM, it's because they've completed 2 parts, taken on a club officer role, a district officer role, helped clubs in the capacity of a club sponsor or club mentor, and they have done this project, the Distinguished Toastmaster Project, equivalent to a thesis. And that's how you get awarded the highest qualification. And you can become DTM as many times as you want. This project here gave me the 2nd DTM. I had the first DTM from the previous education program that was there before, Pathways. And this is how we navigate through the icebreaker speech. The resources are available for each of the projects, and you're able to download them. They have this particular arrow. And depending on the internet speeds, you'll be able to download them and save them in your Toastmasters folder. And they're excellent resources to refer to as you go through your Toastmasters journey. That was the old icebreaker speech, and now I wanted to talk about mentoring. Your Vice President of Education, working very closely with the Vice President of Membership, will ensure that you are assigned a club mentor who will guide you through the different projects and club meeting roles. Be sure to engage your club mentor and walk the journey together. But that doesn't mean that you cannot reach out to another club member and bounce off some ideas or get some ideas from them. And that's the beauty of belonging to a club, to an area, to a division, or ultimately to a district. And we are District 114. 114, because that's the next number that was available when East Africa was ready to become a district. I would like us to talk about renewal, speech contests, the Toastmasters promise, and some of the resources that are available. I talked about the club report card and the performance on the same. This particular report card gives us a visual on how the club members are performing in 4 distinct categories: education, membership, training, and administration. Education, membership, training, and administration. The report card is valid for a Toastmaster year. And the Toastmaster year runs from 1st July all the way to 30th of June. after which the report card resets and you have to go through it for the new year. But the track record of how the club has performed historically is saved on the Toastmasters website on the district performance icon that I pointed out earlier while we were trying to navigate to Basecamp. There are 10 possible distinguished club program goals. Distinguished Club Program Goals is abbreviated as DCP. And most of the time you'll hear people talking about DCP, 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 as it's shorter. And for you to become distinguished, you must attain 5 or 6 distinguished club program goals, and we'll see how. For you to be select distinguished, you need a minimum of 7 goals. So 5 or 6 make you distinguished, 7 or 8 make you select distinguished. Then the coveted president's distinguished, you need a minimum of 9 goals, and the maximum number of goals you can get is 10. So make sure you contribute and make your club distinguished, select distinguished, or presidents distinguished. And of course, the question stands, how can each of us attain these goals for our club? In terms of the breakdown of the goals, we talked about education. There are 6 goals, and they are all from pathways. If 4 members, a minimum of 4 members complete level 1, where it is mastering fundamentals, you get 1 education goal. When we get 2 members completing level 2, we get the 2nd education DCP goal. When 2 more members complete level 2, so a total of 4. For level 2, we are able to get goal number 2 and 3. Then if we can get 2 members completing level 3 as a minimum, then we get the 4th education goal. Then we only need 1 member to complete either level 4, 5, or get the DTM award. And that gives us the 5th education goal. And if we can get 1 more member completing either another level 4 or a level 5 or a DTM award, we get the 6th education goal. Then these are pathways goals. By setting your individual goals as a Toastmaster, you'll see which of these goals you're able to give to your club. As a minimum, I challenge myself to give at least 3 level completions every year. And when you complete 3 levels, you get an award called the Triple Crown. And we can purpose on the call that we want a triple crown and work on your projects meticulously and deliberately, being intentional as you go through the different projects and booking your speaking slots with the Vice President of Education. And I discovered a secret that if I can keep a speech ready when somebody in the club drops off, I can step in and take that speaking slot, even if it wasn't my turn to speak, because, hey, they dropped off and I'm available and I'm ready. That's how you get the 6 education goals, and they're all from pathways for your club. Then we have membership goals, Distinguished Club Program goal number 7 and number 8. And this requires us for DCP goal number 7 to add 4 new members or 4 reinstating members to the club. When you add the 4, you automatically get the 7th goal. And to get the 8th goal, you add 4 more new members. which means we're looking at a total of 8 members joining the club every year for us to get goal number 7 and goal number 8. Then we have goal number 9, that only the club officers can gift us as a club. They have 2 trainings. The first training gives them goal number 9A for the first round of training. And it usually happens between June and August. Then the second round of training started in November all the way to February. And it's currently ongoing. In fact, we have the Division B training coming up on 25th of January, and there's another division, I forget which one, that's also holding theirs on that particular day. When our club officers attend this particular training, we get goal number 9, and they need to attend both trainings, as we do not have half a goal. So for 9A, it's half a goal. For 9B, it's half a goal. The 2 together give us the coveted 9 DCP goal. Then we have administration goals. That's in 2 parts. 10A is on you and I renewing on time. And 10B is when we hold our club officer elections in the month of May every year and upload the list of the new club officers on the website before that year ends. We get this particular goal. So it's in 2 segments. It's possible, and there are clubs that have set as their default setting, they must be presidents distinguished and get 10 out of 10. And the question to us on the call today, which of these goals will you deliver to your club? Moving on to awards and recognition. I don't know how many of the clubs that are online this evening have club ribbons. This particular individual is being appreciated for level 1 achieved. We have ribbons, we have pins, we have certificates. Just need to agree as a club. How will you recognize the members in your club for their performance? And use that to encourage others in the club to want to get an award or recognition as well. And make sure you shout about the awards and the recognition in your club, as it's an excellent recognition and a motivation. And all of us want to be appreciated. Some of the recognitions that we have are you can earn ribbons during the meeting. We have the best table topic. If you're delivering the icebreaker speech, there is a special ribbon for it. If you've joined as a new Toastmaster, you're welcomed with this red ribbon. We have the best speaker, the best evaluator. And for path completion, we do have pins and badges as well. This particular one is a level completion. And you can also get the Toastmasters pin. The paths for each are available. You can purchase them for yourself just by going to the Toastmasters online store. Then we have the level tag, which is the level 2 I was pointing out earlier. Then the proficiency pin, each time you complete a particular level, and note they also come with certificates. And you get a certificate of proficiency and badges as you go along. There are many opportunities for you to be celebrated as you navigate through your pathway. And it's always nice to be celebrated and appreciated. I talked about leadership opportunities. There are very many opportunities to serve in this volunteer organization called Toastmasters International. In terms of hierarchy, the most important person in Toastmasters International is the member. And that's you and I. Members belong to a club. A minimum of 3 clubs come together and form an area. A minimum of 3 areas come together and form a division. At area level, we have area leadership headed by the area director and their council members. And the club officers, especially the president, vice president education, and vice president membership, are council members of the area. Then the 3 areas form a division. The division has a division director. And the division director also has council members, and their council members are the area directors and their own club growth director and program quality director for the division. All these are layers of support for us as club members, where we can get information and guidance and support. Then the divisions come together and they become the district. The districts come together, about 10 of them, and they form a region. We are in region 11, and we have regions in South Africa, in West Africa. East Africa is ours, and we are put together with some districts in the Middle East. And the regions feed into the board of directors. Every year we have elections and we have an international president. We also have the CEO of the board, Daniel Rex. You have opportunity to serve at any of these levels. You just need to fulfill the mandate for each level. And there are growth opportunities as you serve. Many things to learn about how to handle human beings, and you get to know things about yourself you did not know. In terms of delivering the leadership or developing the leadership skills, we have opportunity at club level. You can be president, vice president education, vice president membership, vice president public relations, secretary, treasurer, or the sergeant at arms. You need to hold the office for a minimum of 12 months. The period is 1st July to 30th of June for it to count as a credit if you're working towards your distinguished Toastmaster certification. But there are times I know I've had to step in as a club member just to replace somebody who had to exit for whatever reason life happened. But for you to get the DTM credit, you need to serve from 1st July to 30th of June. Then there are also opportunities to serve at area and division level as area director or division director. Then there is the district and the region where you get to serve as the top leadership. In a district, the role is district director. This year, our district director is Distinguished Toastmaster Robert Karanja. Then we have the program quality director, Distinguished Toastmaster Demalesh. I'm serving as the club growth director. Then we have a finance manager, Donvin. PR manager, we have Mary. We have the admin manager, another Mary. We have our regional advisor, Aminata, and we have an international director who represents us on the board of directors. So these are layers of support available to us, but there are also opportunities for us to develop our leadership skills. And I encourage you to read about each of them. There are manuals, again, online. Just Google the role you want to learn about, and the manual will be available. Now I want us to take a few minutes to talk about renewals, speech contests, the Toastmasters Promise, and other resources. In terms of the club membership renewal, we have 2 renewal cycles in March and in September. The March renewal cycle renews our membership for the period 1st April to 30th September. And the September renewal covers our membership for 1st October to 31st of March. We need to renew our membership before it lapses or expires, as your name will automatically drop off from the automated Toastmasters membership system. And I encourage us to renew to remain members in good standing. Some of us may have joined at a time that wasn't March or September. Some may even have joined this month, and your membership will expire on 31st of March. And you'll be called upon to renew your membership again before the end of March. And I encourage you to do so. As the club group director, I am running a particular campaign called the 20 by 20 by 20 challenge. And it's for the first 20 clubs in District 114 to renew at least 20 members by 20th of March. So the first 20 clubs will get an award from the club growth director's docket. You can help your club to win this particular challenge. There are 2 clubs already that have qualified. One is in Tanzania and one is in Mombasa. So they are giving me a run for my money. And I'm waiting on the other 18 clubs to come on board as well. For new members, the membership is prorated. You do not pay for a period when you are not a member. And therefore, if you are not joining in October or April, where the membership is 60, the other months, if you join in November, May, you are paying $50 to Toastmasters International, in addition to the club running fees. If you join in February or August, you're paying $20 because you're very close to the next renewal cycle. So you need to be aware, even as you share the membership fees with others, that we have prorated membership. Then the club membership has got 3 components. If you're a new member, there is a one-time $20 fee. Then we have the $60, or it's prorated depending on when you're joining the club, plus the club running fees for those of us who pay a meeting venue. Both my clubs, one meets at United Kenya Club, that's Nairobi Toastmasters Club, and the other one meets at Nairobi Club, that's the Hill Toastmasters Club. We have to pay for the venue. And therefore, our membership fee has got this component to help us pay for the venue. Both my clubs, we have ribbons and badges. Again, we pay a little more toward that. We also like celebrating in cake cutting and sharing the cake together. We also have a small contribution that goes to that from each and every member. Fun ways to make your club interesting. And here is a membership drive that we are running, again, as a district. And we are calling upon members as part of our 100% as a club member to invite and convert at least one guest to the club. And we'll try and do the conversions by 30th of June, 2025, so that it can count towards our report card. And I invite all on the call to join District 114 on this membership drive. Then for the speech contests, some of you may already have participated in speech contests. And we are at the tail end of this particular presentation. Each year, Toastmasters requires each district and by translation, each division, each area, and each club to hold at least 4 speech contests. The speech contests that we are holding as District 114 this year are the International Speech Contest, the Evaluation Speech Contest, the Table Topics Contest, and an online speech contest. And club members are eligible to participate in the separate contests. The only contest that has an additional requirement is the International Speech Contest. For clubs that have been in existence, you must have completed level 1 and level 2 in order to participate in the International Speech Contest. This is the only contest that has that requirement. For the others, you just need to be a member and for your club to be in good standing. And as is the case with Toastmasters, we have a speech contest rulebook that is revised every year by Toastmasters International. So you can Google speech contest manual for this Toastmaster year, which runs from 2024-2025. Again, it's a document that makes for interesting reading, or maybe I like reading too much. And I invite you to read about each of the contests, the requirements for the same, how you can participate and learn and have more variety in your club. It's nice competing against other members within the club, and the winner goes to contest with other club members in your area, and the area winners move on to division, and the division winners move on to the district. And this year, the district conference, TCON stands for Toastmasters East Africa Conference, is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And that's where the winners of the division level will battle it out. And the international contest being the only contest that moves beyond the district. The winner at district level goes to compete at regional level. And I was privileged last year to attend that international contest, and it's an experience. That's speech contest for us. Then I will require your help to read the Toastmasters Promise. I need 10 volunteers to be ready. 10 volunteers. Are you there? The first volunteer, kindly unmute and read for us the first Toastmaster Promise. It's on your screen.
I'll go first. To attend club meetings regularly.
Thank you very much.
Regularly.
Will read the next one? And then Mercy. Sorry.
Abdi, I will read this one.
Yes.
To prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, within the Master's Education Program.
Lovely. Excellent. Then we can have Irene, are you ready? Then Mercy, then Justin.
Yes, good evening, Toastmasters.
Yes.
Prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, DT Amanda.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Justin. Justin, go ahead. We can't hear you if you're speaking, Justin. Okay, we'll circle back to you, Justin. We can't hear you as you work on your audio. Mercy, you wanted to read, go ahead.
To provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations.
Perfect. Who wants to read for us the fifth one? You can unmute the mic and I can see it. Ronald, go ahead.
To help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow.
Are you seeing your role as a Toastmaster? We are attending our meetings regularly. We are preparing our projects. We are fulfilling our meeting roles. We are providing constructive feedback to our members. And we are maintaining a positive and friendly environment. The sixth one can be read by Maureen. I'd seen you unmute earlier. Go right ahead.
To serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so.
That's nice. Taking on leadership in a volunteer organization. Who's my seventh volunteer? If you unmute your mic, I will see it. Go ahead, Goodwill.
To treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy.
We have values that we subscribe to as Toastmasters. Who's my eighth volunteer? Unmute your mic. Go ahead, TM Robert.
To bring guests to club meetings so that they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers.
Lovely. Number 9, my ninth volunteer. If you unmute your mic, I will see you.
To adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs.
And the last one. Who will read the last one for us?
To act within Toastmaster core value of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activity.
We have a responsibility in these 10 areas. And you will notice that you signed for the Toastmasters Promise areas when you completed your membership application form. So we have the Toastmasters Promise on this side of the form, and then the space for signing is right here. So if you did not see it then, you can visit the Toastmasters Promise, the 10 distinct areas. They are on your membership application form. And as we fulfill each of these areas, we are able to support our club to have that supportive environment that each of us want to be able to grow. And as we come to the end, how will we communicate with you? Through the club meetings, through emails like the ones I sent you to invite you to this particular meeting, through the different WhatsApp groups that we belong to in our clubs. Then we have the resources, the Toastmasters website, the newsletter, the policy guidelines. We have our club officers, we have our area directors, and of course, by extension, the rest of the leadership, the division directors and the cabinet. The most important thing is to enjoy your Toastmasters journey. And that brings us to the end of our session. And we can take any questions or comments that you may have. Any question, any comment? Something you've discovered in your Toastmasters journey you want to share with us? Go right ahead. If you raise your hand or unmute your mic, I will see it.
Yes, I have a question, and thank you so much for the presentation. Really clear and very useful. So my question is, I would like to hear your top tip in terms of overcoming public speaking or presentation. Your top skill, your top tip. Sorry.
Is that the anxiety we have when we are called upon to speak in public? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yes, exactly.
And like I said, when we were navigating pathways, we have anxiety as human beings because standing in front of people is not our normal domain. And therefore, we have to master courage to be able to speak in public. And one of the ways that we overcome anxiety is by being ready. In order to be ready to present a pathways project, we have opportunity to go through pathways, read the material, write out our speech, practice it, send it to our club mentor, and also record ourselves and see, am I meeting the objectives? What do I need to tweak? And in that way, when you stand to speak, because you are confident of the material, not because you've memorized, but you've internalized it, you're able to overcome part of the nervousness. But the other one you manage by taking a deep breath and looking at some friendly faces in the audience. Because there are some people you look at and they are stone-faced and you're like, my goodness, is it something I said or did? So in the audience, make sure you're that friendly face to help us overcome our nervousness. And practicing over and over again makes perfect. And if you're a slow learner, you need to practice even more. Record that speech, play it back. Be your own evaluator. Look for different members in the club where you can form a rapport and you can come together, even on Google Meet, and practice if you're not able to meet physically. But the thing about anxiety, it's how you manage it. And the more opportunities you have to speak in front of the audience, the more confident you become. And learn to expose yourself to different audience members. And one of the best ways to do that is to visit other clubs and hope that you'll be picked on for table topics. When they're asking for volunteers, put up that hand. And you're exposing yourself to different audiences and giving yourself an opportunity to speak. And in the process, slowly but surely, you manage the anxiety. I hope that helps.
It does.
And Anu,
Thank you.
You're welcome, Marian. And Anu, go ahead as I read the chat. There's somebody who is asking about how is your support on slow learners? And this is a very important question because we learn at different paces, all of us. And you may find that even if you're a fast learner, there may be a particular area when you're not able to learn as fast. So how do you deal with that? Make sure that reading becomes your hobby. Recording yourself and playing it back becomes a pastime that you engage with frequently. Identifying members in your club that you can bounce ideas off and share and practice. Don't shy away from asking members, how did I do for that table topic? How did I do my role? How did I carry out my role as accountant or grammarian or timer or whatever it may have been? And if for any reason you didn't do the role well, seek the next available opportunity to carry out that role, as practice does make perfect. Does that help a little bit? Suppose you joined a club in one area and then moved to another area. How do you go about this? And this happens often when you find you need to relocate because life happened. You just plug in and move on. And you'll know which club you belong to and where it is aligned to by asking the club officers or checking on the Distinguished Performance web page. I did not take the time to go there, but maybe it's something you can click on when you have opportunity and see the alphabet against your club name as it's written there, and you can see where your club belongs. You either belong to Division B, C, D, E, F, G for this year, and you can check the alphabet, which denotes the area you belong to. Trying to see whether I can get to the report quickly. As I get any other question, there may be. I don't know if you can see my screen, but this is when I clicked on the district performance and I selected our district 114, this is what loaded. So we have the district performance, we have the division and area performance, and we have the club performance. I like coming to the club performance as all the clubs are listed here. So you can see for one of my clubs, I'm in Division B, Area 4, and here is the Hill Toastmasters Club. If I click on the Hill, it will load our report card. Like I said, it's in the public domain. It says that we are aligned to Region 11. The district is 114, division is B, and area is 4. Then you need to find out who is the area director for Area 4. Who is the division director for Division B? And that is part of the direct district leadership support for your club. It then gives me other information that the Hill Toastmasters Club has got this club number. Last year, when we closed the year, we had 42 members. To date, we are 47, and we need a minimum of 20. And we were chartered on 9th September 2018. And we currently have 6 goals met, which means we are distinguished. And we have met level 1, 4 out of 4. 4 people have completed level 1. That's the requirement, you get a tick. Level 2, you go down, you see 1 more level is needed. Here we need 2 people. Here we need 1 person to complete level 3. We've completed the 5th education one and the 6th one. And in terms of membership, we have so far recruited 19 members in our club. We need a minimum of 8, so we've surpassed that particular target. The club officers have gifted us goal 9A. We are waiting for them to attend goal 9B, which will happen 25th of January, and we'll get the other half. We did renew our first round of renewals on time, and we got half of goal 10, and we submitted our club officer list on time. That's how come we have that goal. So anything here that doesn't have a tick, we are working day and night to make sure we meet it. So to answer your question, this is how you know which area and division, district and region you are aligned to. Even when you move clubs, you download the report card and see where you fall. And then you just plug in. Hope that helps too. Daniel. Who is giving the recognition items? Is it online and from the Toastmaster website? And I know it depends. For both by clubs, we pay a little extra in our club running fee, and we are able to buy the ribbons, the pins from that budget. But there's nothing that stops you from buying your own pin. For example, if you think you have done very well in a particular year and you're an outstanding Toastmaster, just go to the website and purchase the outstanding Toastmaster pin. Appreciate yourself. So you can buy it online. And we also have the district store for Toastmasters in East Africa. You can reach out to your club president to guide you on how to access the items on the District 114 store. There are items there and we are busy stocking up. So you can buy what's available. Anything you don't find, go on the website. You need a debit card or a credit card. You purchase, you give them your location, and they'll be able to deliver it to you. And to answer Nora's question, yes, the meeting is being recorded. I'm just reading the chats. Yes, there is a version of this presentation on the Toastmasters website. You can Google new member orientation. I've gone in there and boosted mine a little bit because I wanted to show you the screens in Basecamp, which you can already see directly from your Basecamp profile, but there is a version of it on the Toastmasters website. Then there is a question from TM Robert. How frequently should I access the Toastmasters website because I seldom visit it? Depending on the role that you have, you find yourself engaging with the website. If you like reading, there's a lot of material that's even outside Basecamp under the tile called resources on the home page. If you want to hone a particular skill, you may find yourself coming to the website. And the frequency of you coming to the website will increase as you find interesting articles in there for you to read. And also, when you're evaluating somebody, they will let you know their project name, and you can go online and download the manual, or you ask them to send it to you if you are on a different path, because some projects are unique. Then as a district leader, I like to see where we are on the dashboard. And therefore, I kind of live on the dashboard because I want to see how well we are doing, how many clubs are distinguished so far, how many need a bit of nudging to be able to move faster in their education goals, or even in recruiting guests. So it depends on you and your interests. And you'll find that as you interact with the website, there will be things that draw your attention to it. Or maybe a member has sent you an email and you want to go and get more information on that from the Toastmasters website, and you'll find the frequency increasing. So if you do have any question, you are welcome to ask it. And even as you navigate through pathways, do not be afraid to reach out to fellow club members. We are helping each other in this journey. There's what we call peer-to-peer feedback and mentoring. You may have been in Toastmasters longer, but as people join, you find yourselves engaging and you form other beautiful relationships, even with new members. So don't be afraid to reach out to those who've been there longer than you have been. You will find some common ground, and it's fun. I do not see any other question or comment. I'm being asked whether are all leadership roles such as area, districts, etc., lasting for 1 year in order to get credit towards the Distinguished Toastmaster Award certification. Yes, you need to serve in the role for 1 year, and your membership must be valid all the days during that 1 year for you to get the credit. And the Toastmaster year is 1st July to 30th of June. That's how you get the credit towards becoming a distinguished Toastmaster.
Hey, DT and Maggie. I have one
Go ahead.
question.
Yes.
I unfortunately I wasn't able to fully participate because I had something else to do. But where can I get the video?
I will share the link, and I will request the different leadership levels to ensure it gets to each of you.
Okay, via email?
I'll share via email and also on WhatsApp.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Club leadership. Yes, you're
All
welcome.
right. Thank you. It was lovely, although I wasn't there. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, goodbye.
The District 114 members, that brings us to the end of this new member orientation session. It's been a joy having you on board, and I hope that you've benefited from the respective sessions. We will share the recording, and you are welcome to engage further. All the best as you work on your goals for the remainder of this Toastmaster year. You may leave at your leisure.